Hey there, it's David H. Lawrence, the 17th, and this will be part 2 of a presentation I gave recently at the SAG-AFTRA headquarters here in Los Angeles on voiceover demos. I talked about strategies in the first part. Let's talk about some tactics. Take a look at part 2. What about the actual production itself? Once you determine who you're going to go see because you've listened, you like what you hear, listen for the things that I'm going to talk about here. Listen for those things in their portfolio of demos. Every demo that you create should be, to the person listening to it, the target audience, a series of outstanding examples of what you would sound like to their audience. So, snippets from radio and television, even though they're completely manufactured, they have to sound like they came right off the air. And if they all sound the same, which a lot of demo producers do, they'll have you spend all your time on the same microphone, with the same words, with the same music packages, with the same sound effects when they actually go to produce them. They sound manufactured. And what do you think that does to a casting director who's listened to demo after demo after demo? Shuts them down. And you know what point they shut down? Right between the first and second clip on your demo. Because if those two sound alike, if they sound like they were done on the same mic, if they sound like they were done with similar energy, even if the music changes, and I've heard demos where there's one piece of music under 5 different $99 demo guy. If the music sounds similar, if the density of the production is the same, there's this immediate shutdown. It's like, you could be great, but it's like, ugh, another manufactured demo, right? Who needs that? So, even though that's exactly what you would do if you came to me or someone like me, we would manufacture your demo. Once we do your dry voice tracks, I pull you in and I apply different EQ curves to every single piece you do, so that it sounds like you're either coming off of FM radio or television, or you've been outdoors, or you're on a different mic, and every single piece sounds different. And the first two, that break, sound drastically different. Because what I want to have happen is I want it to sound like, instead of you arriving at my studio at 2:17 on a Tuesday afternoon to do your demo, you actually brought me a box with cassette tapes and CDs and DVDs and a VHS of your Wendy's spot from 1994, and I had to grab a VHS deck from a rental shop because I didn't have one anymore, right? And that's the only way I could get all of these clips that we then curated. We went through to find the very best from your vast and illustrious career. That's what I want the casting person to think. Production density is something that I mentioned as well. Here's another point for you. Over half the spots that you hear on radio, depending upon what format you're listening to, over half the spots have absolutely no production whatsoever. No music, no effects, no jingles, no explosions, no car crashes, no fireworks, nothing. Just a person standing, selling you something. Now, how often have you heard demos where that is reflected? Everybody has to put music and effects and the fireworks and the car crashes and the jingles and all that. They have to do it. They have to. Because otherwise they don't feel like they're doing their job. But if in the real world you took and you had, say, a 10, 20, 30-year career, and you took all of the commercials that you'd done and you lined up the best ones, perhaps some of them wouldn't have any production whatsoever. And the variance in production levels is, again, that oral cue to the casting person, okay, maybe this isn't a manufactured demo, even though it is. Your producer should be pulling copy that does nothing but show the gloriousness of the glory, I guess is the right word, the glory of your voice. Your demo should be anywhere between 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 clips of your work. The idea is to get the casting director to listen to the first 5 seconds and be happy. Please don't bury your leads as some sort of a dramatic flourish at the end of your drama. If you have a great piece, Put it up front, and you will if you go to the right producers. Remember that when you're doing voice work, you're acting. So don't start acting after you start talking. Start before you start talking. Don't stop acting until after you've finished speaking. Don't just coast across the finish line and let your energy drain, as you say, the product name. The way I do it is I lay down dry voice tracks. I direct you as we lay down dry voice tracks, and I urge you to remember the nomenclature and remember the process and remember those things that are challenges to you. I don't think there's anybody in this room to whom this applies, but this is how I run my business. If you show up at my studio and you can't take direction, and you can't create a character, and you can't alter things so that I get what I need, I stop the demo. And I say, you know what? We're not going to do your demo today. I'm not going to take your money. Here are some things that I've identified that you need to get better at, and I want you to go do them. You don't have to take classes from me. Go to Kalmanson or go to Voice Casters or go to whoever you want to go to work on this, but don't come back in and do this again until we're ready to do that. The last thing in the world I want to do is Frankenstein together a demo from syllables and phonemes and plosives and, to do something fantastic that the person then cannot accurately reproduce falling out of bed at an audition or when they just get cast for work. That would be doing no one a favor. I don't think that applies to anybody in here, but it goes to the sort of morality of the people that are just waiting out there to separate you from your money in an effort to solve this problem that you have about getting a demo done. Once the demo is pulled in, various things are done to the voice tracks to make them sound different. They're all sweetened in a particular way to create, and then they're arranged in a way to create, and I mean arranged physically, not arranged like music, but arranged in order, so that the very first clip shows the straight arrow strike zone of your natural voice, so that the moment your voice is heard, the casting director has a great idea of what you naturally sound like. Then the second clip is the one that changes the performance level, energy level, changes the production values, and does everything that I can do to put that casting director at ease that, yeah, this isn't really a manufactured demo, even though it is. There are, the Voice 1, 2, 3 said, don't use slates. Don't use slates on your auditions either. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Are you that arrogant about you being the game changers in the world of voiceover that you're taking away the ability for us to identify ourselves and give the casting person one more reason to book us? This isn't giving them a reason to say no, which we try to minimize. My mantra is do more of what works and less of what doesn't, and you can't go far wrong. So don't give them ideas about how to say no to things. Give them ideas about why to say yes. When you're done with your demo, you should be able to leave with it. There are plenty of places in town that you come in, you do dry voice tracks, and then you don't hear from them for weeks, months. It took me 7 weeks to get my promo and trailer demo from the place that I did it at. And when I got it back, the bill, $1,600, the bill had 7 hours of editing on it. And I'm like, dude, you got to get better editors. As you move forward in your career and you decide you're going to try other categories like IVR and animation and narration and all that, everyone in this room should do a narration demo. But once you have that home equipment, I think I talked about it in home equipment, in the home equipment thing, you can start to do some demos that don't require production, like fiction audiobook, nonfiction audiobook, children's audiobook, specialty narration like science, technology, medicine, legal. Anybody in here want to do a demo describing what a tort is? You can do all of those things without any music or effects. That's what I mean by production. You're just basically doing a minute, minute and a half's worth of stuff, and that's it. And it's a clip. And take that person on a journey, just like you would with an audiobook demo. I teach classes on both voice categories, work in categories, and also voice management practices. I do workshops all over town, as Ellen said. I do home equipment, and I do demos. And I'm an actor, and I so value you guys giving me your attention. Thank you so much. So there you go, part 2. And that kind of wraps that up for SAG. They asked me to come in the Cagney Room. It was lots of fun to talk to my peers about what can really help them move forward. Did you have any questions about that? If so, put them in the comments below. Anything that you learned that you thought was really cool? Anything that was surprising to you? Anything that you disagree with? I'm happy to discuss it. I love talking about voiceover and demos. If you want to subscribe to the channel so you know when these once a day videos are going to come out, go ahead and they'll come out once a day, just so you know. Click on a subscribe button below the video if you're on VO2GoGo, or click on my head if you're watching on YouTube. And if you want to see the latest video, go ahead and click on that frame and it'll play. I'm David H. Lawrence the 17th. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you tomorrow.